Hi guys, what is up and welcome back to Ride With Me. Today you join me in my 2020 Seat Leon Cupra 290. This is a GPF model and I'm going to head down and get a Res Delete fitted today to get a bit more tone and a slightly louder exhaust. So today's video is sponsored by Progressive Parts, so I'd like to thank the guys there for sending this exhaust my way to get fitted so we can see exactly what it's like. A lot of people on the owners club and things like that have been asking about what these sound like on GPF cars, because of course the GPF filter, or PPF as it's sometimes known, is definitely quite restrictive in terms of the sound of the exhaust. This will definitely provide a bit better tone and also some slight volume increase, but I don't think it's going to provide loads of overrun crackles and DSG farts and things like that, because I think the filter is that restrictive. But hopefully it will bed in over time and just give a bit of a better sound. I'm looking for a subtle improvement. So if you're looking for all of those things like massive sound, really ASBO stuff, then maybe you'd need a back box delete or a full catback system. But whatever you need, Progressive Parts can certainly supply it for you. Head to their website. The link is in the description below to the exact mod that I'm installing today. And also they have a massive array of parts for Volkswagen, Audi, Cupra cars and beyond. So anything performance related or body kit, please head to their website and you'll see exclusive discounts on there as well. So I'm going to head down to see my buddy Adam at AW Tuning in Sidcup, where I normally get my work done, and he's going to fit the exhaust for me and we'll see exactly what it's like. So I'm going to get a few sound clips on the way for you guys just as the car is stock, and then I'm going to get some sound clips after, and then I'm going to meet up with the other Adam and we'll do a side-by-side comparison of this car with a Res Delete with a stock GPF Cupra as well. So let's get straight into it. I'll take it down to first and give it a pull. You can hear there's not too much in the way of DSG bangs or anything like that. The GPF filter really takes that away. It will slow right down now. Quite civilised. There's definitely a little bit more drone on these exhausts from standard. I think that's just because of the GPF filter. Bit of a bizarre one, but it is what it is. Let's put it back into sport, first gear. Quite civilised. You can't really notice the sort of DSG sounds on the upshift or anything like that. There's not really any crackles or anything when you let off like they used to be in the 300s. That was me just kind of like revving it up in first, giving it some decent throttle. Pop it over into manual again, first gear. Didn't really work out, it's a bit greasy out today. First again. So there's not really any upshift noises. It's quite a decent tone. It's definitely changed tone based on the GPF. That filter does definitely do something. That restriction kind of changes the throatiness of the exhaust, which I actually don't mind at all. It's just that from the inside at least, it definitely loses all of those kind of DSG characteristics, which I mean, some people prefer it that way. Some people don't like the DSG sounds, but personally I quite like the upshift sounds, especially when you've got like a sports exhaust, that kind of thing. Had a tiny one there. You do get them occasionally, but supposedly this Res Delete should sort that out. been a few days since I've had the res delete fitted. Apologies for this bumpy road, by the way. And what I can tell you is that there's not really any drone. There is at a certain RPM, probably around 4,000 RPM if you're really giving it the beans, which is quite common for any kind of exhaust mods on these. Overall, there's not really any drone on the motorway either. It's down to that GPF filter that really makes the difference. If you're expecting this mod to give you those real ASBO DSG farts and all of the overrun, like you saw in my Cupra 300, then you'll probably be a little bit disappointed. This is just a volume increase. Does provide a little bit more overrun. Can hear the DSG changes a little bit more, but still not a lot due to that filter. Apart from that tiny little bit of rasp around 4,000 RPM, I think this is probably quite a good mod really, just as a kind of OEM plus. I mean, I'm going along now, normally I wouldn't really notice that this one is modified in any way. At this kind of low, I'm only just doing ticking over at the moment really. Here it is a bit louder in the cabin. I'm in comfort mode at the moment, so not really much pumped in through the speakers. Again, overrun isn't massive. If I change down a few gears, tiny bit of the DSG noises and things like that, but nowhere near even a stock Cupra 300 system. It's louder than a stock 300. But you don't get the same overrun and gear change noises and things like that. That's just a characteristic, unfortunately, of the GPF filter. But certainly it does drown out some of that kind of TSI engine whine when you're at slightly higher revs, which is nice. You hear more of the exhaust note. I think you can definitely hear more from the outside than you can the inside. And after these clips, I'm going to put in some clips of mine and Adam's cars side by side, so that you can see this versus a stock GPF Cupra 290 as well. So definitely if I change it into Cupra mode, which I shall do now, it's going to whack it straight into, you'll hear more of the interior cabin sort of sound anyway, for sure. Got some overrun there. You can hear it under the car a little bit, but not much over the kind of the drone of the sound actor. Definitely a little bit of overrun in Cupra mode, but still not really got any of those DSG farts, which is a shame because I do like those. I mean, I don't like them when they're absolutely crazy, but when they're quite subtle, it does make a nice difference. Quite a heavy pull there and still no gear change sounds really, but you can hear that there is definitely more exhaust note on the outside of the car. Does increase the volume and it gets rid of that kind of whiny engine noise as well. So I pop this clip in because this is a sort of a narrow lane where you normally get a lot of sound coming through, so this is where I took the Cupra 300 in those clips, so we can get some overrun and stuff. DSG fart there, did you hear that? I think overall, not really the result I was expecting. I was expecting a lot more overrun on this, but it does provide a nice tone increase. If you're just looking for a little bit more volume, and especially at idle, when you're idling or going slowly around town, it really boosts the volume and makes it kind of rumble a little bit more, which is really nice. You do get that ever so slight drone, as you saw in the clip where I drove away. You do get that slight raspiness, but it's nowhere near as bad as normal res deletes on pre-GPF cars. Overall, if you're looking for kind of like a little bit more of a grumble at idle and at low speed, then absolutely, and also kind of like a more pronounced tone when you're driving hard. But it's not going to blow your socks off with regards to kind of DSG bangs and overrun and stuff like that. That clip there where you got overrun in the stock car and not in this one, they were both up to temperature. I'm a little bit shocked by that. You do get overrun from this sometimes, but I think the tone of it takes over, the deep tone. So I'm not too sure. I think they're probably, I'd say, about equal in terms of overrun and gear change sounds and things like that. It's just kind of the tone and the volume that you're changing. But I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a little bit more noise. You want a subtle mod. It's not going to be anything crazy. If you want something like that, then you're going to have to look at different exhaust options. But if you're looking for a subtle exhaust mod, I would totally recommend it though. So if you'd like to get your hands on one of these, the links are down below for Progressive Parts, where I got mine from, and also AW Tuning, where I had mine fitted as well. So please give them a visit. They really appreciate your support. And I really appreciate them for getting this installed for me. So thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.